Well, hello and welcome back to my channel. I was going to do this as a pre-recorded, but I figured I was here, so I may as well keep going and make it live. How are you? Wow, we've had flip-flopping and back flips and turns, and we said this is not going to end well, and what's happened? It didn't end very well. Hello, Mama Kay. So yes, this is a very last minute decision to jump on live. I've just actually recorded a video on another topic. Hello, Renelle, on something else on a court case happening in Australia at the moment, and I just thought I'm still up. I'm wide awake. I've had the coffee, and yes, and I've survived 3 days of school. I've got tomorrow off. It's 10:54 at the moment. So our back flipper. Just as well, the Olympics is starting very soon, and at this rate, she could make the American team for gymnastics, by the way. So she has decided now that Miss Jip Jip is a liar. So let's have a look at some of this stuff. Let's have a look at some of this stuff, and because this is pretty amazing. And then I wanted to all right, and my computer's a little bit slow. So apparently, she says the final episode of Gypsy Rose Blanchard's reality show aired tonight, and I'm finally at the point where I'm done. I watched the show with my mouth on the floor. I watched her flat out lie to Ryan Anderson. Then I continued to watch her lie over and over. In May, Gypsy Rose Blanchard called me after I made a post calling out many issues with her behaviour. In our call, she told me a story about her meet-up with Ken that left me so upset. I know I am planning to create. I got a bit preoccupied. I've just done a video on the whole Brittany Higgins, Linda Reynolds saga because there was an update today in court. Because Linda Reynolds wants Brittany Higgins to pay her medical fees because apparently Brittany Higgins talking about what happened to her on the project triggered Linda Reynolds' anxiety, and she had to go see a psychiatrist. I know, like, ridiculous. Anyway, yeah. So I'm a bit late. Yeah. So I've got to once I finish this live, I'll upload it. But yeah, it's bizarre. Anyway, so. So it's left her upset, apparently. As you may have seen, Gypsy sent a text to Ryan with a photo of Ken and her in New Orleans. She told Ryan that they were just friends, but she sent the photo to him to hurt him. Remember, that was her line. Remember when they got matching tattoos and Katie was saying, well, but they're just friends. They're not together. And we're all going, and no, you don't get matching tattoos if you're just friends. Not like that. I was told about Gypsy sending photos to Ryan. I flat out asked her if she sent Ryan photos. She told me she didn't send the photo. I called her out and told her that she was lying. She backtracked and said, oh, I did send Ryan a photo of Ken and me. I only did that because I wanted him to get me on adultery. Then our divorce could be over faster. I told her that was not only cruel to do to Ryan, but also incredibly wrong. I told her it makes it look like she only got with Ken to get back at Ryan and to get out of her marriage. In another scene of the episode, Ryan tells her that he has her on adultery, and Gypsy says, I didn't do anything, no. You didn't get me on adultery. While meeting with Ken, Rod told him that Gypsy wanted to get pregnant. He tells Ken not to get her pregnant. 4 weeks later, Gypsy claims she's pregnant. Ryan tells the producers that a month before, Gypsy claimed that she was pregnant and didn't know who the father was of the baby. Then with this pregnancy, she didn't send him any photos of the pregnancy tests and claimed that she was pregnant this month with Ken's baby. I have a hard time believing that Ryan would lie about this to producers. Didn't she call him a liar and say all these horrible things about him before? I believe Gypsy would lie to both men about the paternity. Gypsy did want to get pregnant and was trying to get pregnant with Ryan before she left him, according to Ryan. Oh, and last week I was told that Gypsy and Ken are struggling. Things aren't perfect like they seem, and it's not a fairy tale she thought it would be. More later. Says, how many, I love this one, how many times can you flip-flop on this girl? You have stuck up for her constantly and made people believe better of her and also trashed her and back. I'm just confused. Someone says all of this would be summed up simply with she should not have been released. Why would you expect any different, says this person? Now, again, I don't really know, but I'm getting the impression the stepmom's got a lot to do with it. It says you are one to build someone up and then tear them down. Someone says, sorry, but after watching the show, I feel Christy is about 95% of the problem. Even Rod told her if something would happen, it would be her fault. Christy's a troublemaker, in my opinion, and I don't think Mia is that enthusiastic about Gypsy. She's a millionaire who murdered her own mother and thinks she's now some big movie star. I liked her at first and was rooting for her, but now she actually makes me sick. Katie says, I am not one to be lied to and used. Or something. You absolutely used her for a story and still are. And to armchair diagnose someone gross. I gave her the benefit of the doubt. I have sat here and taken so much heat because I care about Christy, but this is just too much. I'm not defending the indefensible. I didn't build anyone up. Gypsy's behaviour and lies are on her. Don't gaslight me. Why doesn't Katie just say, I was wrong? I'm sorry. I misread the situation? Because someone says, who cares about this Jerry Springer story? Because I just find this really bizarre. Now, I saw something I Googled Gypsy earlier and I found, and I know it's TMZ or TMZ, as we'd say in Australia. But what was really interesting, I found something on there, which we have all talked about. Where was it? Of course, they talked about the divorce and said that it's not looking. Ryan's lawyer had told TMZ that it's not going to be till next year. And it actually makes sense. It's everything that we've said. That was dated today, I think. Here it is, 5 hours ago. We'll trigger back. But I found this. And this says is that this divorce won't be speedy. All right? Which is exactly what we have, which is what we've said. However, spousal support's now off the table. So this was today's date, okay? No quickie divorce. So this is really going to put a spanner in the works. And if it's true that that he's the legal father until they're divorced, it means that poses a problem for Ken too. Okay, let's look at this. So it says Gypsy Rose Blanchard is going to have to hold her horses on cutting all ties from estranged husband Ryan. The divorce is not going to speed through the courts. Ryan's attorney, Jeffrey Carrier, tells TMZ when married couples without children divorce in Louisiana, they have to live apart for 6 months after divorce papers are served before they can even request a divorce hearing. Gypsy and Ryan publicly split in March, but we're told he wasn't served until the middle of July, which means the 6-month clock starts. As the result, this divorce will bleed into next year. Katie told us that she was told the divorce would be quick and it would happen in October, not according to this. And this is what we read in the legislation, that it was 6 months from this. We didn't know when Ryan was served, but if he did not get served until the middle of July, that's when the clock's ticking. Despite the waiting game, Gypsy and Ryan are settling some aspects of their divorce, namely spousal support. Ryan's attorney says both parties have agreed no one is getting spousal support or alimony. Gypsy originally asked him to pay for her spousal support, but no dice on that front. Next, we're told Gypsy and Ryan will hammer out a division of property. They were married for less than 2 years, but we're told they still have assets to divide, like contracts for shows and books. One thing is settled here. Gypsy's already agreed to give Ryan their dog Pixie. Once the 6-month period is up, we're told a divorce hearing could happen within 2 to 3 weeks. So the figure around mid-January at the earliest. As we reported, Ryan will legally be the presumed father of Gypsy's future baby, even though she says Ken Urquhart is the father of the child. This will have to be confirmed with a DNA test, which we're told Gypsy and Ken have no issue doing. So this sort of works up. This sums up what I read when we looked at the legislation where it said you had to be separated for 6 months. So apparently this Katie's here saying that Gypsy married Ryan to avoid being paroled to her parents' house. According to Christy, Gypsy wanted to live independently, but due to parole conditions, she had to parole to family. Her conditions would not allow her to parole to a boyfriend. So in order to parole to Ryan's house, she had to marry him. Gypsy married Ryan for housing. That's really sad. And it says, according to Christy Blanchard. She's still quoting Christy. Now, here is a clip. Wait to the end.
When I got pregnant, I didn't even think that I could get pregnant because I had seen my OBGYN for the first time. I asked about my fertility. She gave me a blood test. We did labs to see if I was ovulating on a regular basis. And so when I got the results back, she's like, chances are you're not ovulating on a regular. And so I'm like, okay, what does that mean? And so I also had an abnormal pap smear as well. So I had a lot going on at that time with down there. So I thought I couldn't get pregnant. So whenever Ken came to visit me, I'm like, chances are that's unlikely to happen. I've got too much going on right now. I'm going to have to be on a medication to make me ovulate because I'm not already ovulating on a regular, so I wouldn't worry about it. So we didn't use protection.
Gypsy says she didn't think she could get pregnant because she wasn't ovulating, so she told Ken she probably wasn't going to get pregnant, and they didn't use protection. She knew full well that she wanted a baby. She had been wanting a baby for months and had been trying to get pregnant with Ryan. At the first opportunity, she tells Ken, oh, I don't think I can get pregnant. They don't use protection. They spend a weekend together and whoa, she's pregnant. It's not an accident. It wasn't at all unexpected. It was what she wanted. Lifetime was pushing for her to have a storyline about a baby, and producers were talking with her about getting pregnant. Gypsy was being enticed by reality TV to get pregnant, but she also wanted a baby. But doesn't a baby almost guarantee a third season? I know she says she's not going to exploit this child, but knowing what I know about her, I don't believe her.
When I got
It's funny. We all said that all along, that it was all planned. So, of course, now she's blaming Lifetime. It says, I watched this all unfold and knew what was happening behind the scenes. Lifetime was pushing for a baby storyline, pushing hard how to secure another season with a baby. Gypsy and Ryan were trying to get pregnant for months. She was advised by her family not to get pregnant. Ken came into town. Gypsy still wanted to get pregnant. She claimed she wasn't ovulating. I mean, that's on Ken too. to be perfectly honest with you. Ken has to take some responsibility for this as well. I mean, she claimed Gypsy was out of birth control pills. Christy told me last week that Gypsy ran out of pills when she moved and never refilled them. What wasn't seen on camera was Rod hammering into Ken that he needed to use condoms because Gypsy wanted to get pregnant. It wasn't just a minor want. She was on a mission. I'm not bullying her by telling the truth. I'm tired of being gaslit and manipulated. I gave her the benefit of the doubt. I gave Christy the benefit of the doubt. But I often felt like there were so few people around Gypsy that actually wanted to help her. Everyone was so blinded by the money and fame right now. It's truly awful. I worry about the baby so much. Gypsy can barely take care of herself. She's addicted to attention like her mother. She only knows how to exploit herself and others for money. She has no skills. Gypsy needs intense therapy. She needs a real psychological evaluation because she hasn't had one. I'm sharing now because I'm not going to take the heat anymore for people that lie and gaslight me. I gave them the benefit of the doubt. She's a victim, but being a victim doesn't mean she gets to victimize others and continually hurt people. She switched comments off for that. This is crazy. All right, what's this one about?
Question. Do I have any concerns of any genetic issues for my baby? So actually, I have already had the I forgot what it's called, but it is a blood test to test for any genetic abnormalities, and that test has come back. Thankfully, no genetic abnormalities. The baby is healthy. I'm very happy to say that. It was, yes, maternity 21 or something. Yeah, that's what it was. And I was so relieved to when I got that call from the hospital. Because I mean, that was after everything, all the tests, all the medications that I had to undergo all those years ago. I was so scared. What kind of implications would that have on my future children and fertility in general?
Gypsy claims the reason why she has genetic testing done for her baby was due to the testing and everything she underwent as a child and the medications she was on. Nothing she went through as a child would have affected her fertility. Why she had this test is because Gypsy has a microdeletion, a chromosomal microdeletion that she's well aware she has, and she is concerned this could pass on to her baby. She told me she was going to have testing because of her own genetic issue. Her microdeletion is actually why she is so short. She's not even 5 feet tall, and that's a common trait for the deletion. Gypsy's microdeletion cannot be found in any prenatal testing because it's rare. There's only about 100 people in the world that have it. And she'll have to go through full panel genetic exome testing to find this when her baby's born. The chromosomal deletion has been known by the family for years, and they never actually talk about it because it actually explains some of the testing that Dee Dee had Gypsy go through as a child, though she never had many of the symptoms Dee Dee claimed. Dee Dee made up things that Gypsy never had. She never had seizures, but Gypsy does have this microdeletion. It likely is impacting her in ways she doesn't even realize, and she's afraid her child will have it.
Question. Do I have...
Now, didn't also KJ argue that she never had microdeletion? I'm sure I saw that. So she said Gypsy Rose Birch has been lying for months. Yes, see, Michelle? Didn't KJ say Gypsy doesn't have microdeletion? I'm sure she has said. She said, no, she doesn't have microdeletion. Correct. That was my understanding too. Now she's got it. I tell you, she would win gold medal at the Olympics with all of these backflips. She isn't concerned because of what her mother did. Gypsy has a chromosomal microdeletion that she knows she has. Her deletion is extremely rare. One trait of deletion is short stature. Gypsy's not even 5 foot tall. 75% of people with deletion also have mental health issues, developmental and cognitive disabilities. Gypsy's aware that she has a deletion, but rarely talks about this. She has some procedures that she went through as a child that were actually needed due to the deletion. However, Dee Dee took the issue and ran with it. She began with diagnosing Gypsy with other diseases outside of the deletion. She did absolutely say that, Michelle. I'm sure she did. Leukemia, muscular dystrophy, and paralysis are not part of the deletion, but are disorders that DD claimed Gypsy had. Gypsy also was treated for seizures, but doesn't have epilepsy. It is possible Gypsy needed a feeding tube at one point. Failure to thrive is not uncommon with the deletion. I want to reiterate that Gypsy had procedures that weren't needed. However, some were needed. DD was a malingerer and a fraudster that faked illnesses for money. Gypsy's eye issues are also a product of the deletion. Microcephaly is also common as well. Regardless, bringing up the deletion kind of ruins the narrative that everything her mum did to her was for attention. Not everything for attention. Not everything was for attention. A lot of it was for attention and praise. There were no meds or any procedures that would have ever impacted her fertility. The fertility concern has always been about her chromosome deletion. The test Gypsy was given cannot determine this before the baby is born. A full exome genetic test is needed, which has to be done after the baby is born. Right now, the baby doesn't have any known genetic disorders. So this person says, okay, I'm usually backing you on your opinions, but this is sad. I know you feel burnt by her, but I wish you wouldn't use your platform to make us feel bad about her as well. This girl has been through hell. Her abuse began at such a young age. She had no idea how to reconcile what she's been through. Her teeth were extracted for no good reason. She was made to act as though she was sick to get DD what she wanted. Please. In fact, it's interesting because it wasn't about what DD wanted. It was Gypsy that got everything. If you actually look at everything that DD got, it was always for Gypsy, because if DD got everything she wanted, she would have been dressed to nines. She didn't. She gave everything that she got, she gave to Gypsy. Please don't negate the horror she's lived. She was released into a world without any therapy to arm her with the tools needed. Times where someone can use a platform to manipulate our views. Please think about taking these posts down. You said you're done. Please be done. This Gypsy Rose I had no idea she was so small. I don't know. She's super small. I don't know the circumference of her head. She's 4'11", I think. She also has a lazy eye that is common with the deletion. She got a feeding tube when she was 7. Her story about getting the tube confused me. Oh, okay. Very interesting. My daughter has microdeletion as well. Her feeding tube was for failure to thrive according to medical records, which would make sense if she's not growing like other children her age due to the chromosome disorder. Leave it, Dandra. But like, weren't you on Gypsy's side like a month ago? Before then, you were done with her. What happened? Discussed a few posts ago. So they're talking about the lip licking here. Her mother had her salivary glands removed. Apparently, they were not removed. They were reduced with Botox. I don't know. So she's getting a lot of heat for her backflipping, which so she should. So that was all of those posts here. So as I said, there's been a lot, and now let's have a look at these. Isn't this interesting? The most dangerous liars are those who think they're telling the truth. Hello, Mum and Celeste. Hello, Vidandra. I wonder who's that related to. Oh, happy belated 29th anniversary to the Wilkins. Apparently. And it says Gypsy's lying again. Isn't it interesting? So do you think that there will be a... It's not KJ. She knows she's lying. She just doesn't care. Oh, the other thing is, where is the Shin post go? Did she delete her Robert Shin post? Did that disappear? Interesting. This was interesting too.
Week, when I was packing my things at Ryan's apartment, there was a baby onesie that was a Star Wars Baby Yoda onesie in the closet. And so you're just throwing it in different places. I don't get it. So anyway, I bought that onesie when Ryan and I had went to Walmart, and I just thought it was cute. Like, I'm like, oh, this is so cute. When we have future kids or whatever, when I want to get it for my future kid. I was not pregnant at that time, but I like the little onesie because I'm like, what happens if that's so cute. What happens if when I finally do get pregnant and we have a kid, they don't have this for sale anymore. So I bought it. And I even talked about that in an interview that Ryan and I had did. I think back in February. It may have been.
Interesting. She's using a clip from someone called Shorty Chew. Now, I want to know, though, if she had bought this onesie for her future kid, why didn't she take it with her?
February we did, and buying baby clothes and stuff like that. So, I mean, we talk about that. But I think people were kind of shocked because it's like, I am pregnant now. And they're like, well, was she pregnant before? But no, I just wanted to buy it because I thought it was cute.
So, see, that makes no sense. She wanted this onesie for this future kid, and then, but she doesn't. She doesn't take it with her. Does that make any sense? Not a lot of it is making any sense at all. So it looks like this person she got the stuff from has all the Gypsy videos. Oh, there we go. They're on Gypsy. So yeah. I mean, it makes no sense to me why you would not take it with you. So the interesting thing about the other thing was, I just saw this. Oh dear. Oh, this is classic. This is classic.
I'm a loyal friend. Just because I wasn't loyal to my marriage doesn't make me not loyal. I think you can ask any of my friends. I have really good friends that I've stayed up past midnight because one of my friends was having a crisis. Stayed up with her. I'm a loyal.
She's loyal despite cheating on Ryan.
The girl, I need to call her something besides her name, but I've only ever called her pet names. I'm gonna call her the Bop. No, I'm just joking. The Bop. No, I'm just joking. She's not a Bop. Number one, I don't think she is. That was a joke. And
I don't know. Anyway, yeah, she says she's loyal despite cheating on Ryan. I just find that to be fascinating. And what's this one? No, that's it. What's this one? Bop.
the girl, I need to call her something besides her name, but I've only ever called her pet names.
Maybe it was KJ. I just thought that was hilarious. I just saw that sitting there and I thought, oh, no way.
I'm a loyal friend. Just because I wasn't loyal to my marriage doesn't make me not loyal.
How does that work? How does that work? Just because you weren't loyal in your marriage doesn't mean you're not loyal. How do you justify that? Yeah. Well, I'm with you, Gigi. I'd say, yes, it does make that. I would say it does mean you're not loyal. Oh, dear. Oh, boy. Oh. I just can't believe it. That is just fascinating. Oh, dear. Oh. How messed up do you have to be to believe that, though? Well, obviously they are too high. Oh, boy. Oh, that's hilarious.
I think you can ask any of my friends.
Well, should we ask Ryan?
I'm a loyal friend just because I wasn't loyal to my marriage.
What does the comment say? I can see the comment. And it says, yeah, and water isn't wet. And water isn't wet. Oh, that's funny. Oh. That's a great comment back, you know. Oh. Oh, that's just cracked me up. They are very similar, very, very similar in in their delusions. Oh boy. And water isn't wet. Oh boy. Oh. Oh. I do like that. That's that is pretty unbelievable, really, isn't it? Oh boy. So it would seem here is from 3 weeks ago. This is a Q&A with Gypsy 3 weeks ago. Oh, there's been an error in the playback. Maybe I've been blocked. Okay, so let's have a look at this. Oh, gee whiz, look at this. This is a Gypsy Rose Q&A.
Hey everyone, thank you for joining.
It's got 52,000 subscribers.
My first ever Q&A on YouTube. So I guess I'll just jump right in. What brands would you want to collaborate with the most on Instagram and TikTok? So I use a lot of beauty products. So I use Rare Beauty for makeup, at least some makeup. I use self tanner. So I like to use Lux Unfiltered. In a lot of my pictures that I look a lot tanner than I am right now, I use Lux Unfiltered. Sometimes if I want to go a little darker, I use the Lux Unfiltered Deep Mousse or self-tanning cream. Works wonders. It's amazing.
It worked wonders for her. I'm interested in this Harch thing here. Yeah, I don't know how she can convince herself she's loyal.
Because I'm one of those people that can't tan easy. Like even if I go out in the sun, I'll burn and then I'll be like pasty all over again. So I'm just not one of those people that can get a natural tan. And I also like to work with CoverGirl. So I use a lot of their products too. What is one goal that you have for yourself to accomplish this year?
Oh, well, this will be interesting. This was 3 weeks ago.
Yes, I feel like my schedule has been really busy, so I'm not really sure about that actually. So I guess read a book. I don't know. What is my skincare routine? So I use Lancome. I do like a 3-step process. So I have a cleanser, then I have a scrub that I put on my face, like a nighttime scrub and things like that. And then I use the moisturizer afterwards. So they're all 3 branded Lancome.
She's trying to get sponsorship, isn't she? In my opinion, of course.
How do I stay positive? Don't read negative comments on social media. I'll tell you, if you want to ruin your day, go read those negative comments. But other than that, keep your head in the sand. What you don't see won't hurt you.
So she didn't see a condom, so it didn't hurt her. Sorry, I had to go there.
Okay, what is your favorite color and why? So I love lavender. I've always loved lavender. Lavender is very calming. So it's always been something that that I could go to as a certain color. Like if I go in the grocery store and I see different products that are like for bath or whatever, I usually gravitate more towards lavender. Scented candles as well. So I guess lavender is just super calming for me. Do you have any pets? And
Chippy's going to wish she never got involved with her dude. She's brand shopping so hard, especially since that was her first question. Correct, Tax Max Facts Thundercup. How are you? Exactly. And do you notice that they're all sort of around the same type of questions? She had a pet, didn't she? She had a pet. She got rid of it.
And if not, what kind of pet would you like to have, if any? So I don't have any pets right now. My dad and my stepmom have 2 dogs. And Ken has his dog named Parker. And so I guess we kind of like, we share Parker. Parker's not mine, but since I'm dating him, I'm the girlfriend. And so like I'm taking on that like mommy role to Parker.
What about the dog you gave up? Hello, short order. Oh. She said, I'm Ken's girlfriend and I'm dating him. Really? Oh, this I think was before the announcement, wasn't it? Wasn't this before the announcement? 3 weeks ago. When did she announce it? Hang on. So hang on. If this was the 28th of June, 2024, right? Okay, so this was at the end of June. her goals for 2020. I think she's a bit out of touch here. So she wasn't pregnant at the, well, she didn't announce she was pregnant at the time.
So I guess we can say we share, Parker. Let's see. Oh, and also, like, if I have a choice of like getting a pet in the future, I love huskies, as I think everybody knows. So I would love to get a husky dog. What message do you hope to leave people with that hear your story? I would have to say like a hope for the future, like a hope that people could see beyond the past. That like the past doesn't define who you are as an individual. You can go through some really hard times in your life and still have the opportunity to make a better life for yourself going forward. So I hope people see my story and that's the message they gain from it. I don't want people to focus on the crime. I feel like people focus way too much on the crime.
But that is the past. That's part of the past. People focus too much on the crime because that is part of the story. You can't have your story without the crime.
And not enough about what the overall message of my story is.
I don't think she knows, does she?
Because it's never okay to do what I did. And I never say it is. You know, I did my time for the crime, and now I'm living my new life. And all that I can do is share my experiences going forward to show that there is.
All I can do, I just forgot, I'm a lying manipulator. All you can do is just give me all your money and I won't even talk about it. Just feel sorry for me.
Of growth that could happen no matter where you come from. Do you plan on being more present on social media? Yes. So currently I am thinking about, or at least trying to get more established in social media as being an influencer. So we'll see how it goes for me.
Yes, she was a blonde in the announcement. So I think this is saying this is around the 28th of June 2024. But I'm not really, like, it's not really making it, I've got no idea. But then it says it was 3 weeks ago. Was that 3 weeks ago? It's really bizarre. I don't know.
I'm very new at this, but I do have a very big platform, and let's see what I do with it. I guess you guys will have to tune in and watch. What is the first thing you did when you gained your independence that made you feel the happiest? I know this.
Cheating on your husband. Because remember, she's really loyal. She's really loyal, even though she cheated on Ryan. Remember that? She said that.
This is going to sound like a really cheesy answer, but the truth is, when I divorced Ryan, I filed for divorce, and
You haven't divorced him yet. I was joking when I said that.
I do have a very big platform, and let's see, woman, I made.
When I divorced Ryan, you're not divorced from him yet. You can't get divorced until next year, darling.
Influencer. So we'll see how it goes for me. I'm very new at this, but I do have a very big platform, and let's see what I do with it. I guess you guys will have to tune in and watch. What is the first thing you did when you gained your independence that made you feel the happiest? I know this is going to sound like a really cheesy answer, but the truth is, when I divorced Ryan, I filed for divorce and I followed my heart to true love.
She's not divorced from it. When I divorced Ryan, I filed for divorce. That's made her the happiest, really, not getting out of jail. Not.
I felt like I made that choice as a free woman. I made that choice as an independent woman.
What? So I wasn't far off when I said when she cheated when she cheated on her husband, made her the happiest.
And I think everyone should follow their heart. If they know what they want in life and they know what's going to make them happy, I absolutely feel like no matter what, you should go for it. Life is too dang short to be sad or feel trapped by anything in your life. I was in a marriage.
Oh no! Oh, now we're going to hear about her hard marriage. What was it? 3 months? She's far from independent. You're correct. She means when she slept with Ken. That's what I'm saying. When she slept with Ken. When she cheated on her husband.
Marriage that I wasn't happy with, and I knew that my heart was elsewhere, and so I followed that. And
but it was as she was in a marriage that she wasn't happy in. She'd only been out of prison for a few months. You know, when you haven't lived with somebody and you live with somebody for the first time, it's not easy. It takes months to get used to each other. Months. It's not something that comes straight away.
They want in life and they know what's going to make them happy. I absolutely feel like.
Well, obviously, we should not even ever think about how our actions affect other people around us. I mean, what if she gets tired of her baby in 3 months? I know, Michelle. That's the scary part, isn't it?
No matter what, you should go for it. Life is too dang short to be sad or feel trapped by anything in your life. I was in
Laura.
Marriage that I wasn't happy with, and I knew that my heart was elsewhere, and so I followed that. And I'm happy. I'm very happy. That's the happiest. This is the happiest that I've ever been in my entire life.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't be laughing. This is the happiest that I've been in my entire life. Once she'd been out of jail for 6 months.
And I'm not ashamed of that.
She'd only been with Ken for a few weeks for about a month. She's nearly been with Ken for as long as she's been with Ryan. Must be nearly time to be bored of him.
What hobbies and activities do you enjoy doing in your free time? So I like to crochet. I learned to crochet while I was in prison, and I've crocheted a couple of blankets. That's like all that I know how to make for right now. I can't make no booties or little hats or anything yet, so I haven't gotten that far yet. But I do crochet blankets. If you could travel anywhere in the world, where would you go and why? So I've always wanted to see the Northern Lights. It's always been like a dream of mine. So I'd love to go to like Alaska or Sweden, maybe, wherever I can kind of see them the best. So that's where I would want to travel to.
Oh,
what is your favorite book?
Oh, this is like comedy hour. I didn't realize that this was so funny.
Movie or book or movie that inspires you. I've always been a huge fan of the Harry Potter books. I feel like the overall message of the books is
6 months of non-stop drama and chaos. 2 boyfriends and a divorce. So happy to be out. I know. Isn't it? Oh, and a baby on the way too. Now. And let's be honest, if her stepmother hadn't interfered and involved what came back into her life, like she did, would she have ever gotten back with him? Would it have ever been an issue? I guess that's the question.
so inspiring. And I feel like I kind of relate to that a little bit. It's all about, overcoming some part of your past that
Okay, so I've never read Harry Potter, so you'll have to tell me if this is a right interpretation.
I've always been a huge fan of the Harry Potter books. I feel like the overall message of the books is so inspiring. And I feel like I kind of relate to that a little bit. It's all about, overcoming some part of your past that has been very dark for you. So for Harry, it was losing his parents and defeating Voldemort and going on this quest for the greater good. For me, it's overcoming the abuse.
Oh, she's sorry, phone went nuts. I thought maybe Laura it was either a cat or a kid. Well, enjoy, but I'd hardly call Harry Potter series inspirational. Is the baby talking yet? No. Michelle says, unbelievable. There's wrongly convicted criminals with less possibility than she did the crime, but let's reward her and make her a celebrity. Correct. You're going to pass out laughing. I know this is like comedy. This is like comedy hour. I didn't realize. I saw this question and answer, and I thought, oh, maybe we'd get some insight. I didn't realize this was going to be funny. She's talking about Harry Potter losing his parents. Well, yeah, she murdered her mum.
For the greater good. For me, it's overcoming the abuse that I went through and seeing how I could make a difference in the world going forward.
Oh, so far, let's go back to short orders. Point from make a difference in the world. Let's go back to this one. Oh boy, that's funny. What difference in the world?
For the greater good. It's overcoming the abuse that I went through and seeing how I could make a difference in the world going forward for the greater good. So I guess I can relate to that a little bit.
I'm sorry. Oh boy. Oh.
Different circumstances, the message is the same.
Oh, different circumstances. Oh, 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 oh.
So I have a daily routine.
Daily routine.
No, I have a daily routine. I get up. I get up super early in the morning. I never was a morning person before, and now I am. I get up probably around 6:30 in the morning, drink a cup of coffee, kind of wake up a little bit, maybe take a shower. I need to get more into like activities, like going to work out at the gym and things like that. But as a daily routine,
I thought she said. I thought she said. I thought she said. She needed to do some work, get a job or something.
I need to get more into like activities, like going to work out.
I thought she said like going to work. Maybe take a shower. Gee, where did she learn that daily routine?
Out at the gym and things like that. But as a daily routine, I guess you could say I just kind of hang out with the family, you know, kind of see what the day brings me.
AKA nothing. Oh, Harry's parents were, when he was a baby, raised by his aunt and uncle, whisked off to boarding school at 11 and getting up to no good and endangering other students. Yeah. So, but the message is the same, apparently.
What is your favorite type of music? Do you have a favorite artist or song? So I love country music, 90s country, today's country.
90s country. Somebody told me he's a bartender. Oh, boy. Well, they say a good belly laugh helps you lose weight. So hopefully I'm going to go to sleep tonight and I'm going to wake up thin because I've had a good old laugh today. Oh dear.
Like I like Eric Church, he's a country singer. Do you plan on doing any advocacy work? If so, what groups or organizations would you like to work with? So I would like to work with the Make-A-Wish Foundation. I feel like after my experience, I honestly feel like I really want to give back.
Will be 20 pounds. I hope so, short order. But she's been, so why hasn't she done something yet about that, giving back? So I have no doubt that if she did do something with Make-A-Wish Foundation, I think stepmom wanted to make sure Gyp didn't have to come back. I thought him living in the cupboard under the stairs at his son was great. He learned to cook and clean after his relatives. Right, I had 2 teachers ruined it. She didn't mention Taylor Swift, no. Because I'm sure she would record it and put it all over social media. Oh, you think stepmom wanted to make sure Gyp didn't have to come back to their home? Well, she's back there now, and that's the whole problem. It's backfired, isn't it? Because she can't be there. She can't allegedly be with Ken, but I'm sure she's there because there was a clip the other day where she was telling Ken where to put, what drawer her pajamas went into, and you know, you generally, if she's got her own a few of it drawers with clothes in it, usually means that you're there more times than you're not.
My experience, I honestly feel like I really want to give back. It wasn't fair to those kids what my mom did, getting me a wish and pretending to make me look like a sick child so my mother could get us a free trip to Disney. My first trip to Disney, I was 10 years old. I was a child. I did not know that my mother was taking advantage of this organization, and it breaks my heart to know that. So,
I mean, you know what she could do? All this money she's getting from her social media, she could be giving some of that back. Because remember, I don't think she's supposed to be making profit from her crime, right? Well, the easiest way to not make money is to give it away.
I personally have made a donation to Make-A-Wish. because I feel like
Oh.
there's nothing that I could ever say that will make that right. However, by giving a donation
Receipts or it never happened, right?
to Make-A-Wish made me feel like I was giving that wish back to a child, that I was giving back what was taken. So I feel like that is an organization, a foundation that really, really is so at the root of my heart and my being. So I would really like to work with them, as well as other projects that deal with.
Actually, I don't know. Can convicted murderers work with child organisations? That would be the. I mean, in Australia, I don't think she would pass the police check. To be fair, that would be the other thing. Just because she says she's done her time, there's still a record there. But in Australia, that would restrict you from being able to do work in certain jobs. Is she even allowed to give them anything? Well, that's a good point. I don't know.
Prison reform. Prison reform is another thing that I feel like is very close to my heart. Having done 8.5 years in prison, I know what it's like to be a prisoner. I know that inmates are not always treated fairly. I was guilty of my crime, but there are a lot of other people that are innocent.
Oh, she just said she was guilty. And what about Nick? Are you going to help him get out? To me, that would be the best thing she could do, is advocate for him to get a lighter sentence. But, you know.
Of theirs, and they don't get to have their voices shared enough. So I would really like to shed light on that kind of stuff. Do you have a favorite perfume or scent? So the perfume that I use is I picked it just because it has like my name in it. I use Miss Dior Roses and Roses. And as for like a favorite scent, so that's my perfume. So a favorite scent, you guys are gonna laugh. I love Vicks Vapor Rub. I love like the menthol scent. Where is your favorite place to shop for clothes? So I'm not picky about clothes. I can shop at
All right, let's see where she could shop. Okay.
At Walmart, like I can shop at Target, I can shop at Nordstrom, I can shop at Macy's, Dillard's. Like I feel like I'm not picky.
Oh, she's not picky, but she's putting some of the big brands there. Hey, I shop anywhere. I just go to my local shopping centre and I shop. Amazon, yeah. Temu, AliExpress. I just go to my local Vicks Vapor Rub favorite perfume. No, it's a favorite scent. I wonder where you can get high on it. I wonder if that's what part of the problem is. She's high on it. Actually, my boyfriend and I, check her wish list. My boyfriend and I were talking about, first of all, we started talking, he was talking about the Duggars. And he was talking about, you know, all the kids. And I said, oh, you've got to go down the Gypsy Rose rabbit hole, Blanchard rabbit hole. And about 5 minutes later, he goes, no, thanks, I'll stick to the Duggars. He just went, I'm not going down that one. I said, oh.
Whenever it comes to brands or anything, I'm kind of like, okay, this looks cute on me. I want to wear it. Like this was Plato's Closet. Like this was just simply something I found at the rack at Plato's Closet. So.
What's Plato's Closet? Oh, Plato's Closet. Oh, it's like a consignment thing, is it? Ah. I'm just Googling it at the moment because I haven't heard of Plato's Closet. Ah. So Plato's Closet apparently is we buy and sell gently used clothes, shoes, and accessories. So you sell the clothes, they buy the clothes, and then they sell the clothes, I would assume. Yeah, it's a good idea. Yeah. A win mark. Okay, now I know what that is. Okay, I can get on with life now.
Just kind of whatever looks cute on me. Are there any new skills or areas of knowledge you hope to develop when doing advocacy work? Of course, I think that as
What about telling the truth?
advocacy work goes, I feel like that's been a journey for me because I feel like I haven't found my place yet. So I feel like maybe taking some courses in psychology would help me have a
Oh, please don't do this to me, Gypsy. Taking courses in psychology. What way?
So I feel like maybe taking some courses in psychology would help me have a better understanding of what I'm advocating for. Because I think that's my problem right now is I just don't have enough knowledge in that.
Oh boy.
I have my experience to share my experience, and I do that by sharing my story. But to advocate for something, what does that mean? And so I'm trying to find what that means to me. And I feel like I need to gain more knowledge to be able to advocate. So I'm looking into taking courses in psychology, getting that background knowledge to help me help others. So there's that.
Oh, you were outside, had to run back. Yes. Well, yeah. All right. Here we go. Let's watch it again because I'm hoping that I heard it wrong the first time.
Areas of knowledge you hope to develop when doing advocacy work. Of course, I think that as far as advocacy work goes, I feel like that's been a journey for me because I feel like I haven't found my place yet. So I feel like maybe taking some courses in psychology would help me have a better understanding of what I'm advocating for. Because I think that's my problem right now is I just don't have enough knowledge in that. I have my experience to share my experience, and I do that by sharing my story. But to advocate for something, what does that mean? And so I'm trying to find what that means to me. And I feel like I need to gain more knowledge to be able to advocate. So I'm looking into taking courses in psychology, getting that background knowledge to help me help others. So there's that.
Oh boy, psychology. Oh, I can't get over about the fact that she's going to take a course in psychology.
What is my favorite dessert? Red velvet cake, all day long. Red velvet cake is my favorite. If I could have dinner with anyone in the world, who would I pick? Who would I choose? Is it wrong to say Jesus?
Oh, now you're going to talk about Jesus. Oh, dear. And what do you think Jesus would say to you, sweetheart? Oh. He would say, go sin no more.
I mean, who wouldn't want to have dinner with Jesus, right? If you could play any role in a movie, who would you play, and in what movie and why? I feel like,
Sure, what is this? That's one invitation he may not turn up to. Oh boy. There was a song called I think it was from a group called The Lads, a New Zealand group. I think they did a song called Coffee with Jesus.
I would play Hermione Granger in the Harry Potter movies. I feel like I've always kind of like connected with her because she's she's a nerd, she's a book nerd, she's a bookworm, and kind of like a little know-it-all. And so
But you just said you didn't know anything and you had to get more knowledge, and now you're saying you're a know-it-all.
The movies, like, she's the first one to like raise her hand whenever she knows a certain thing, or have that knowledge behind it, and so I connect with that. So I would be a Hermione Granger. I think that's all of the questions that I got so far. Thank you guys.
I'm nearly on the floor laughing. And if I kept laughing very longer, I'd have to take a little walk to a small room.
Asking such amazing questions, and thank you for tuning in to watch me answer. And please, if you haven't already, go follow my TikTok account, go follow my Instagram accounts. I have them linked on my banner or my channel. And if you like the content, please leave a comment below. Thank you.
Shall I leave a comment and says that was the funniest video I've ever seen? I didn't realize. I thought it was supposed to be a Q&A, not a comedy. Oh boy. Oh, gee whiz. Oh, gee, that was funny. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to have to go soon because I've still got to upload another video and edit another video, and then I've got to go to bed because I don't have, well, I'm not working tomorrow. I would, I want to try and, got a lot of work to do. I've got some editing to do for some more podcasts. Of course, the Olympic Games are starting soon. Yay! I'm so excited. So excited. However, the water polo team, the Australian water polo team, 5 of its members currently are knocked down with COVID. Everybody laughed. Ken's typing the, oh, look, that wouldn't surprise me. Everybody laughed when they saw that the Australian team was turning up in France with face masks, and COVID's going through the it was KJ style. COVID's going through the Olympic team. So it's don't believe it's still around. And also I want to just share this with you as well. France is in a little bit of strife at the moment too. This horrifies me. In fact, Australia's actually sending over the federal some federal police officers at the moment because, first of all, a woman was allegedly barred by 5 men in Paris, and 2 Channel 9. So Channel 9 is the broadcaster that has the rights in Australia. They've sent over 200 people to broadcast the games, and 2 of their team, I think they were this is actually, so this is from the Washington Post, so this isn't from an Australian. Probably won't let me in now. Anyway, so 2 of its game staff members were attacked during an attempted robbery in Paris, and it's the second violent attack against Australians in 48 hours. French police are also investigating claims from a 25-year-old woman that she was armed by 5 men. What they have done is the chief de mission has told all of the Australian team women, please do not leave the village. If you must leave the village, please don't wear your Australian uniform and don't go out alone. Australian Olympic athletes have been encouraged not to wear their team uniform if they travel outside the village. Channel 9 says 2 of its Olympics Games staff members were attacked, and they were tech workers. They've escaped serious injury. The pair were in the French capital for a part of the 200-strong team working for the TV broadcast rights holder. They were walking back to their accommodation when a group of people attempted to snatch their backpack. It's been reported to police. Technical workers and photographers can be targets because they're carrying equipment. In 2016 in Rio, a News Corp photographer had his equipment stolen before the thief was found the next day, pretending to be part of the press. So this is the chief de mission, Anna Mears, and she has asked, it's a stark reminder that all Australians travelling overseas, no matter where they are, should be aware of their circumstances and aware of their surroundings, do everything they can to make sure that they are protected and they have a trusted friend and refer to Smart Traveller. That is what the Australian government is saying. It sounds like the Australian Olympic team are across the security and safety issues. They are well briefed. The asked about the alleged assault, Australia Chief de Mission Anna Mears said our hearts go out to the woman involved and we hope that she's being cared for. There's not a lot of detail. We are encouraging them if they go out of the village to not go out on their own, not to wear the team uniform, just wear plain clothes, and we're just waiting for more information. Security expert told ABC earlier that Paris Olympics face the multifaceted threats and would be complicated to keep safe. So there are 2,000 officers from around the world are actually helping the French police, and a contingent of Australian Federal Police, so that's like our FBI, are heading over there to help with that as well. So it's very important. So there's over 200 personnel located in 34 countries. So hopefully, no, it's not a good start. The other thing is the opening ceremony is going to be the first time the opening ceremony has not occurred in the stadium. It's going to be they're going down the river. Each team is going to be on a boat, interestingly enough. I am very much looking forward to it all, I have to say. You probably get sick of me talking about it. And the more I'm listening to the stories of the Olympians, as we're doing, the more excited I get. The other interesting thing about the Olympics, and let me just tell you, is that this is also interesting. So Australia has the oldest athlete competing is 51, Shane Rose. The youngest is a skateboarder. She's 14. There's 5 pairs of siblings. Naomi Jess Fox in canoe sailing. and Minji and Minwoo Lee in golf. The average age is 26.5. 88% are born in Australia. These are the athletes at their 5th games: Patty Mills, Lauren Jackson, Joe Inglis, Edwina Tops, Alexander, Eddie Ockerton, and Melissa Wu. And apparently Australia sent over 1.4 tons of cereal and 200 shots of coffee. Because we're Aussies, we like our good coffee. And 800 kilometres worth of bandages are gone as well. There's 115,000 clothing items, 5,200 pairs of shoes, 254 different competition wear items. I saw the Rugby Sevens start first. I saw that one of the Olympians showed a bed full of clothing, and I thought, it's like they're not going to have time to wash the clothes. They've just given them, they got like 5 sets of everything. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, so here we go. On Friday, the Olympic Openings will take place in Paris. Thousands of athletes, celebrities, public will travel down the Seine River on custom-made floats to celebrate the start of the games. So as I said, it's the first time it won't be in the stadium. It's going to be very interesting. So definitely going to be interesting. It is one of our biggest contingents. How many Aussies? Oh, I did know that question. Did you know I did know that question? Is it 750? The other thing is break dancing is in the Olympics now. Sports climbing. Oh, this is what I was going to say. Is the Olympic Games is the only time the whole world is in one place together and not fighting each other. So there's going to be North Korea, there's going to be Russia, there's going to be Russian athletes, there's going to be Israeli athletes, there's going to be Afghanistan athletes, there's going to be athletes from all over the world, and Ukraine athletes. And it's the only time the whole world gets together in a peace situation. And I think it's something to be celebrated. I think it's our 2nd or 3rd largest. I think it's oh sorry, oops, I got that wrong. 460. Oops. Oops. 460. I was a long way off. Oops. No. So there are some countries that can't. So there is going to be, I don't believe any country's not sent a team, but there are athletes that don't have a country for whatever reason. And so they actually compete under the Olympic ring. And I think some of the Russians are competing under the Olympic banner. So it's called Independent Olympians. So Russian and Belarus athletes are competing at the Olympics as individual neutral athletes. So while they're not going to be, so technically Russia can't be at the Olympics, and either can Belarus. However, they are able to be under the as individual neutral athletes, because you know what, some of these athletes aren't responsible for the unrest that's happening in their country. Athletes from Russia and Belarus will be competing as individual neutral athletes, as well as not being allowed to their national flags. They're not going to be included in the official medal tally. Russia and Belarus are banned from sending teams to the games following Russia's invasion and being supported by Belarus, but the countries are being invited to send athletes who meet strict criteria. So there are a few. So the conditions are: they must not actively support the war, they must not be contracted to the Russian or Belarus military, and they can't have a team. So they've got 15 Russians and 17 Belarusians. So there you go. There have been 21 turned down invitations. The trampoline, they had 9 of the 10 invited wrestlers accepted an invitation but declined. 15 Russians to accept for the 6 tennis players. Right, of course, they're going to say Russians have a good 1 trampoline, a gymnast, 3 canoeists, 3 road cyclists, and 1 swimmer. Danny Medvedev is going to participate. He's a Russian, of course, and he will be playing as a neutral athlete, and that will be their flag. If the AIM win a gold, they have a specifically written anthem with no lyrics will be played. So there we go. So yes, there is going to be people from every country of the world there competing, as I said, and they all agreed to participate peacefully. It's the only time of the only time the whole world is together and not at war. I think it's really amazing. But Medvedev, I mean, then they have independent Olympic athletes. Often they're refugees and they're displaced. So, for example, it depends at the time. So, 92, Yugoslavia, were allowed athletes from Yugoslavia were able to compete as independent Olympic participants. Sydney 2000, East Timor, they were able to compete on their own. Independent appeared in London 2012. The Netherlands Antilles became part of the Netherlands. And then South Sudan had not set up an Olympic committee. Finally, Kuwait was threatened by the IOC to have to compete as independent athletes. So if they don't really have a home, then they so it's got whether they're so there was 3 participants, so 3 independent athletes. So I don't necessarily know what so this in the 2014 Winter Olympics, Shiva Kress, who had competed for India 4 times in the past, was forced to participate under the IOA banner because his nation had been suspended by the IOC in 2012. India was reinstated in the midst of the 2014 game. but not in time for him to officially represent the country. In 2015, Kuwait was banned. So often they come in independent if the country's been banned. So so instead of having Russia and Belarus under the independent Olympic athletes, they've given them the other title. But you'll find that there are other people that will appear under that independent things because of, for whatever reason, there's some issue. Anyway, I'm going to head off. I've still got to upload another video, and I will. Oh, look, hopefully I'll be on tomorrow night. Oh, tonight, later tonight. It's Thursday now, isn't it? It's 12:30 in the morning. So I better head off, go to bed. I'll upload this, go to bed. I've got some editing to do tomorrow. Very excited. I've been watching all the docos on TV to prepare for the Olympics. I know that the rugby sevens are starting before. I think they start tonight. So some things are already getting underway early. But yeah, I'm really excited. And you get sick of the Olympics. As I've been doing these podcasts, I've been listening to the podcasts, and I'm hearing the stories and seeing what people have to do to actually get into the Olympic Games. And so the one that's going up tomorrow is a broadcaster who is been to the Olympics before. He's actually going to be doing, he had to get leave. He works for another media organisation. He had to get leave from that media organisation to go work for the other media organisation. But he's never done athletics before. And he talks about what you have to do to be able to commentate races. And he talks about he's had to watch 12 months of races. Oh, hello, Barbara. I'm just about to leave. And he's talked about how it doesn't matter how much preparation you do. Once the gun goes off, anything can happen. And so that's really going to be insightful and going to talk about some of the Australian favourites as well. So, but yes, very, very excited. I might do a discussion about I know there's been lots of controversy about the opening ceremony uniforms. Apparently the girls have been asked to wear dresses or skirts. And there are certain ladies that aren't very happy about doing that. Oh, yes, Barbara, you're going to do a bit of laughing. So prepare for that. All right. So anyway, thank you for watching, and I will catch you again. Hopefully later tonight. Bye for now.